Another chilly evening in Denver, Colorado. We're getting set for baseball at Coors Field. It's the Rockies and the Brewers, the third game of a four-game weekend set. Both these teams playing great in their division, but the Rockies, they're trying to snap a three-game losing skid. Kyle Freeland, he'll be pitching for the Rocks tonight. Not too many home starts for him, so he's relishing the opportunity to be in his backyard for the hometown kid. Kyle's going to try and help the Rockies win tonight. They need it. They scored a bunch of runs last night and couldn't come out with the victory, losing in extra innings, 11-10 to the Brewers. Let's take a look at the lineup that he's going to face, brought to you by Southwest. Leading things off, it'll be Lorenzo Cain. He has a leadoff hit in both of the games so far this series. Christian Yelich hits second. Ryan Braun is third. Aguilar's going to clean things up. Domingo Santana is hitting fifth. Hernan Perez, then Orlando Arcia will be at shortstop today. He tied a career high last night, reaching base 4 times. Jet Bandy is going to be doing the catching today. And Brent Suter, that's a name we weren't expecting to see pitching as he got the call. Chase Anderson was scratched due to illness, so I'm sure we'll get into that in a minute. But for Kyle Freeland, what can we expect? Because, Jeff, you're talking about coming off of 3 consecutive quality starts.
Well, I think that is the key, that he's really found the zone. He is pounding the strike zone with every day. You see the numbers, 2 and 4 on the year, but a 3.95. He's got a 2.08 ERA in his 2 starts here at Coors Field. Last year it was 3.72, so he's not afraid of it. Fastball, cut fastball, changeup, and slider. And I think the pitch, especially in New York, that was very effective for Kyle was the cut fastball. And to be able to go inside on these right-handed hitters for the Brewers is an imperative, because they like to chase, they like to hit a lot of home runs, but if you get those weak ground balls, I think that is the key tonight for Kyle.
Well, of course, defense behind him going to be the key as well. We're going to see Noel Cuevas out in right field. His 8th start of the season. Again, Carlos Gonzalez was in the lineup, but now he's out with a lefty on the mound. Parra will be in left, Blackman in center. In the infield, Arenado Story making his 40th start of the season. He's started in every single game. LeMahieu, Desmond, and Iannetta will be doing the catching here. Slight breeze in the air tonight. The flags have been blowing, and hopefully that blows in at this moment and can turn out when the Rockies come up to bat.
And it's really cooled off from when we started on Thursday. I mean, it was about 85 degrees, and last night it cooled off. It's even cooler tonight.
We knew the weather would come. Hopefully the rain stays away, as Kyle Freeland's first pitch is in there for a strike.
It's well located, very first pitch, because you were afraid that Lorenzo Cain might try to ambush like he did 2 nights ago against Marquez.
Swings at the 0-1, that's fouled off. 58 degrees is what we're working with tonight. A little moisture in the air too, Huey. You can feel that. I think that'll affect the pitching a bit as well.
Well, and I think it'll affect some fly balls. So the air's a little bit heavier, a little bit more moisture in the air. So we've noticed that when that happens here, those fly balls obviously don't travel as far. But if you're Kyle, I think you just worry about getting the ball down on the ground. Last start, he had 5 ground ball outs.
0-2 is high, so the first ball for Kyle, 1-2. Again, we mentioned it, Cain led off with a home run on Thursday, and then last night with a single, came around to score obviously both times. He's going to swing, strike 3, Kyle Freeland with a strikeout.
And what did I say a few moments ago? The cutter was going to be imperative to the right-handers tonight. And then his first one out of the gate on the Subaru Supermo underneath the hands of Lorenzo Cain really ends up off balance trying to reach for it. Good start for Kyle Freeland.
Hopefully a trickle-down effect, too, trying to get the Brewers off balance. They've been attacking early, and getting that first out was big for Freeland. So in comes Christian Yelich. He's had a hit in 10 of his last 11 games. He's hitting .333 in that time. And that went right back up the middle, but there's Trevor Story making the first out, or second out.
I don't think it got Kyle, but remember what happened last night with the ball off of Chad's glove to Trevor? He just had to duck and get out of the way and then do a roll. Talk about coming back at you and getting out of the way. He's able to do that. I think he's athletic, so he could make a gymnastic move.
That's right. Those quick reflexes. Buzzed the tower there, but hey, 2 quick outs for Kyle Freeland as Ryan Braun steps in the box. Ryan Braun's been skidding his last 38, just 6 for his last 38 at-bats.
The first slider tonight for Kyle. That's where he can range. He can range 80 miles an hour with that pitch up to 92, sometimes even 93, 94 with the fastball.
Here's the 0-1, and Braun's going to swing. 0-2.
Remember in Kyle's last start in New York, he gave up the base hit, and then he gave up a home run to Asdrubal Cabrera. After that, then he retired 18 of the last 19 guys he faced, including the last 12 in a row.
A lot of conviction after that first inning. And a lot of conviction tonight. That'll be a grounder to Trevor Story, and out number 3. Just 8 pitches it took for Kyle Freeland to get out of the first, and now it's time for his teammates to go to work. Go to work, DJ LeMahieu leading things off again. Let's take a look at our Southwest Airlines batting order. Behind DJ, it'll be Charlie Blackmon. Nolan will be hitting 3rd. Trevor Story's going to clean up. Ian Desmond's hitting 5th. Noel Cuevas getting his 8th start of the season. Parra right behind him with Chris Iannetta and Kyle Freeland. That's how things shake up for the Rockies, and they'll be facing a pitcher they weren't expecting today in Brent Suter, the left-handed pitcher.
Yeah, they were thinking they were going to get him tomorrow. 7th start of the year for Brent. Season high is 96 pitches, so I think that's something we're going to watch tonight since he's coming out of the bullpen. That fastball, that is not a mistake, folks. 86 miles an hour. That's the lowest in the major leagues, just barely lower than Kyle Hendricks of the Chicago Cubs.
That one's in there for a strike, so 1-1.
I was just going to say, with Suter, I think you got to make sure that you try to go the opposite way. And if you throw something inside, then that's when you can pull it. But if you go up there thinking, well, I'm going to pull this guy into the seats, that's when he's going to work you into a corkscrew. And you're going to go back to the dugout mumbling to yourself.
I think you have the right guy then if you want to go the opposite way to lead things off.
I think you're right.
LeMahieu, he is Mr. Opposite Field, no doubt. In fact, he recorded his 500th hit at Coors Field last night with a single. He takes that pitch. 2-2.
Well, Brent, his changeups, his changeup and curveball, those are his 2 off-speed pitches, and he's not afraid to throw the changeup either to the lefty.
Ball's low, so worked a full count for DJ. DJ right to the shortstop, and Garcia is going to make the play for 1 out.
Time now for our Pizza Ranch for the win. This game is a game of adjustments. We've talked about it. Chase Anderson was scratched just earlier, about 3 o'clock today. You know, he came down with the stomach virus, so who knows if he's going to be able to go tomorrow. So Brent Suter, who was up in the bullpen a couple days ago, was supposed to start tomorrow. He had to make the adjustment to start tonight. But I'm thinking for the Rockies hitters, they have to make the adjustment from a guy in a right-hander, Chase Anderson, to a soft toss and lefty now.
And now it's Charlie Blackmon's turn to do that. The first pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. And Blackmon's seen Suter. He's three for 4 off of him in his career. So you know Charlie went straight to that video rack and said, give me everything you got. And he's down 0-2.
Well, that's where Brian Jones, the video coordinator, becomes very, very important, because he can cue all this up, put it on their iPads, they can look at it. But they've seen Suter before. He made a start here a couple years ago. The Rockies have seen him 3 other times. He's 1-1 with a 4.50 ERA against Colorado. Very fast worker. He likes to get the baseball and go.
Yeah, he is a pitcher of pace, as we like to call it. Here's the 1-2 to Charlie. Charlie back up the middle. Garcia is going to make that play for out number 2. Here's the defense tonight for the Brewers. We've seen Aguilar this series. He's been at first base. This is his first career start over there at third base. 3 1/3 innings. That's all he's logged over there. Arcia's at short, Perez at second. Ryan Braun getting a start at first base, his 8th of the season this year. Over at the hot corner, Yelich, Kane, Santana in the outfield, and Bandy is doing the catching. Nolan Arenado is going to try and get things started with the first hit for the Rockies.
Yeah, and I was just thinking of Aguilar at third base getting that first start. And it's going to be interesting to see how he does, because he's done a very nice job over at first base. But talking to Craig Counsell today during his daily press conference, he said, well, I just hope that his bat, you know, kind of carries him. That's why he's out there right now.
Arcia saw it in the lineup first and went over to him and said, hey, man, you're playing third. He said, what? That's a joke, right? He had no idea.
April Fools?
Counsell didn't even want to tell him. Here's the 0-2.
Yeah, you tell him. I'm not telling him. You tell him.
Yeah. Nolan watches that for a ball, 1-2. You'll notice, too, defensively, this is how they're playing Nolan, but I feel like he's creeping back a little bit more and more, just in case, you know? And there you go, an opposite field hit for Nolan Arenado, just as the doctor ordered. Huey told him to go to right, and he's even going to try and stretch it now for a triple. Nolan's going into third, and he is safe.
Well, this is a punch triple if there ever was one. I mean, he's down in the count, 1-2. He takes a half swing like you're trying to block a shot in tennis right down the line. Little cutter on the Subaru Supermo. But look at that, he doesn't even finish. That is a 3/4 swing for Nolan. He just wants to make contact. Good things happen when you make contact. Now for Nolan, he currently has a 22-game on-base streak, second longest of his career.
Second triple for Nolan this year, the 25th of his career. And now Trevor Story's going to step in the box to try and bring him home. Trevor swinging first pitch. That ball's going deep. Heading out to left center. Fire up the fountains. A 2-run home run for Trevor Story.
I love when you make that call, because good things happen for the Rockies.
And the fountains are flowing.
I love it. Well, and I like, too, Trevor was in a good spot last night. It carries over to tonight. That is now Trevor's 9th home run. Hey, that's 30 RBIs out for Trevor. And the good thing about it is the last 2 nights, Milwaukee's jumped on the Rockies in the first inning. Now it's a little payback time. A hanging curveball, and he does not miss it.
And you know when Trevor Story does not miss it. That was a no-doubter for home run number 9 this season.
I think they might be taking a look to see where this fan reached, because the ball then ends up coming back onto the field. But I think he was on the other side of the fence, and it just happened to fall out of his glove back into the field of play.
So they're going to review this and call back to New York, check in on that. And you sure hope not. You
I
talk
know.
about momentum.
Right.
You mentioned the Rockies getting on the board early, how important that was.
I mean, you still get the 1 spot, but how nice would it be to have the 2 spot? And it's so hard to tell where the glove was. Just kind of trying to figure out, you know, if the glove is definitely reaching over the wall, then you can see
They're going to go
where
ahead
it
and
is.
call that a
Yeah.
home run.
Ted Barrett, the crew chief.
So Trevor Story's home run will stand, and you can see it right there.
Well, 2 bad things happened for that guy. He dropped the ball, and he also knocked the little kid over.
Not cool, sir.
Not cool.
Pointing fingers as well for losing the baseball there. Well, here's Ian Desmond. He's hitting 5th today. Again, the lineup getting shifted around a bit. Carlos Gonzalez originally in the lineup when they were facing the right-handed pitcher and Chase Anderson. When he was scratched, but he had another righty in there, and Ian Desmond's robbed in center field on the dive there from Lorenzo Cain. And that is going to be out number 3 for the Rockies, but not before getting on the board first. Trevor Story going deep. His 9th home run of the season so far. More importantly, a 2-0 Rockies lead. We'll head to the 2nd. And your hometown Toyota stores. By O'Toole's Garden Centers, putting the color in Colorado. And by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees, that's transparency. Trevor Story's bat has a nice mark on it, a home run mark. Home run number 9 on the season for Trevor, coming in the first, giving the Rockies a 2-0 lead. Kyle Freeland fires that pitch in there for ball 1, and Jesus Aguilar is the batter.
Jesus has been a thorn in the Rockies' side, and going back to last year, 8 for 12 with 3 home runs. Go foul. I don't think so. Oh, it is foul. It is foul.
I appreciate you wishing it that way.
I know. See, that's what happens.
I figured it went that way. Aguilar did not figure it went that way,
Well,
and they're going to get on the phone to try and figure out which way it did go.
Now, Ed Cedar, the third base coach, was signaling fair. Right from that angle, it definitely looks foul.
Huey, that went 110 miles per hour off the bat.
Yeah, and it was probably about 100, seemed like 110 miles high, too.
Thought if you switch positions today, it might hurt him at the plate.
No, but that's why Craig Counsell wanted him in the lineup.
So they're going to go ahead and check this. This is now the second call back to New York on a home run, or a potential home run.
They've got the unlimited plan, so
that's right.
it's not going to cost them anything extra.
I don't know. I mean, I think that's foul, but
I do too, but it's so hard to tell because it was so high.
that's the best look we're going to see of it, too.
Yeah, and a reminder again, it was called foul.
Right, you're going to have inconclusive evidence, right?
Yep. But that's Aguilar. He's got that kind of power. He's kind of stuck with Cleveland down in the minor leagues, and they got an opportunity last year here with Milwaukee. He had 953 minor league games, over 200 down in the Venezuelan league. But last year, he just kind of tore it up, and it will be a foul ball.
Well, New York has got two things right then
That's
today, right? Chalk it up as 2 for 2.
2 for 2 for the boys in New York.
So Kyle Freeland just 10 pitches in as we, with the first batter in the second inning. The 1-1 to Aguilar. It's going to be outside for ball number 2. That swing's going to make it into right field, and Aguilar with a leadoff single for the Brewers.
It just got work because I was wondering about those two challenges. Okay, so the first one, the home run, was actually initiated by the Brewers, so they've lost their challenge. The second one with Aguilar was a crew chief review.
Challenge, yep, or review. Well, that's good to know because I think both of us were under the impression they were crew chief reviews. That's going to be a dribbler to DJ. He's going to have a hard time going to second, so goes the easy way for the out.
Let's just hit at the in-between speed. Because I know DJ was trying to come in so he could be able to catch the ball and then tag Aguilar, or at least maybe initiate some contact. But instead he went to first base. See, Aguilar getting out of the way on the Subaru Supermo, which he's entitled to do. He got the lead runner.
Now the Brewers will have a runner in scoring position for the first time early this game, and in this series they're hitting quite well with runners in scoring position. Huey with a 455 clip.
10 for 22 in this series. They had come in as a club hitting 203, last in the major leagues with runners in scoring position.
Hernan Perez, the batter, got behind 0-1. Which evens it up 1-1.
So we got a clarification now. Again, it just came down that both of those were crew chief reviews.
So both are crew chief reviews, and just let's
because
make
of
that
the home run boundary. You know, whether it was fouled right over the foul pole or somebody reached over.
Well, that was my assumption on the home runs. It's
right.
their prerogative to go to the phones and call.
So yeah, so the Brewers still have a challenge left.
So let us be the umpire's microphone. Is that the case?
Yes.
I wish they had one, because everyone now at Coors Field could be aware of what's going on.
Exactly, and then we have to wait until we get an email a couple minutes later telling us what's going on.
So both challenges intact for the teams.
Yes.
Those were crew chief initiated reviews.
Yes. So now we got that settled.
All that's out of the way. Rockies have a home run.
Well,
Brewers
I
didn't have a home run.
And then both reviews were in the Rockies' favor.
That's right.
So I think it's 2 for 2.
Here's the 1-2 to Perez. He's going to chase that. And that will be out number 2. Strike number 2, or strikeout number 2 for Kyle Freeland.
To the bottom of the Subaru strike zone. This is Kyle's ability to, when he's working ahead, get some of those awkward swings.
Or Orlando Arcia, the batter. He reached base 4 times last night, as we mentioned earlier. That's a career high, or ties a career high for him. He's going to swing at the first pitch. Kyle gets ahead 0-1.
That might have been a curveball. And every once in a while, Kyle will break that out. It's not a pitch that he's 100% confident in yet, but he still needs to throw it, try to develop it. Bud worked hard in spring training and even in the offseason to make Kyle aware that something slower will be to your benefit.
Part of the maturation process of any pitcher. That ball's going to be a grounder. Nolan's going to cut Story off and bobble the ball, so now you have runners on first and third.
I'm shaking my head in disbelief because I'm not sure when we've ever seen Nolan drop a ball once he secures it into his glove. He's ready to do the spinorama and then it just flips out of the glove. It will be an error on Nolan as we watch on the Subaru Supermo. Just didn't get the grip on a 3rd error of the year. And that breaks a string of 9 straight games without an error for the Rockies.
Nolan not pleased with himself. And yes, those are hand warmers that Nolan has that he just brought out of his back pocket. Not sure 58 degrees calls for that, but you got to stay warm out there somehow. So runners on the corner. And Kyle Freeland's going to face the catcher, Jet Bandy.
Jet 10 for 51 on the year. Does have a home run, 1 RBI that came on that home run, obviously.
The 1-0 from Kyle. A broken bat right towards Trevor Story, and that will be a routine ground ball for out number 3, stranding 2. That's how Kyle Freeland and the Rockies got out at the top of the second. With the Rockies 2-0 lead. Well, don't forget, fans, you can join in on our conversation. Send us your thoughts, your comments, your photos. You can do that via Twitter using the hashtag ToyotaTalk. We'll get to some of those coming up in the game. Noel Cuevas, he's going to be leading off the bottom of the second for the Rockies. Again, a late add to the lineup today. They were originally facing Chase Anderson, the right-handed pitcher, and Carlos Gonzalez was in the lineup, but when the Brewers made a switch to the lefty, so did Bud Black. Two can play this chess match game, I say.
Knowing Noel, he knows, hey, it's another opportunity for me. That's what it is. Every game you get at the big leagues is an opportunity to showcase your talent.
That's right, he's had 9 hits in his last 16 at-bats and a 367 average overall. So for Noel, he's really been soaking up his big league time. He enjoyed it out on the road, seeing his family, and now here at home trying to get something going. That's going to be a grounder to Aguilar, and Aguilar to Braun. I'm not sure we say that too often since Aguilar's starting at third for the first time in his career, and Braun hasn't made too many starts over at first.
Yeah, just his 8th start. He started working on playing first in spring training. I'm not sure he was too keen or too hip on it. There's a guy that had won Rookie of the Year at third base, was very, very accomplished in left field. We know about his bat, but say, wait, we need some help. You might have to play some first base. I'm sure begrudgingly he did it, but I think he's starting to embrace it, and he's an athlete. He's going to be fine over at first base.
So Gerardo Parra's the batter. And Parra straight to Aguilar. Cat-like reflexes there from the big man.
And the rest of the infielders are kind of laughing at him right now. Like, really?
I think he's trying not to laugh himself.
Yeah. Well, he's in a good athletic position. Knees are bent. Gets up and snags at it, even though it's a snow cone on the Supermo.
Braun's like, all right, that's cool.
I've been playing over there.
Yeah.
Those balls come at you fast at the hot corner.
I can give you props, man. So 2 quick outs for the Brewers, and Chris Iannetta coming up to the plate. Iannetta swings at the first pitch, and that's going to sneak through the infield for a base hit. Let's check in with Taylor McGregor for the first time tonight.
Yeah, you guys were talking about Aguilar out at third base. I was listening to Craig Counsell's press conference today, and he was joking around because Aguilar had told the media of Milwaukee, saying, if I would have known last night that I was playing third base, I wouldn't have slept. And Counsell said, yeah, that's why I didn't tell him until today. But it turns out, I think if he would have known how well he's playing so far, he actually might have gotten some sleep. What do you guys think?
Hey, Taylor, I'm with you on that, and that's why I found out this morning I was doing play-by-play.
Yeah, we just make sure you don't get too nervous.
I understand that from Aguilar. I mean, at the end of the day, they're all baseball players, and you know that more than anyone. I mean, we were even talking about that with Bud Black and the switching of the pitcher, and you mentioned it. It's a game of adjustments.
It is.
And you got to roll with it.
Yeah, since you played in Little League, you know, in youth baseball, you're always adjusting.
Freeland. That one's deep out to center field, but it's going to be caught by Lorenzo Cain for out number 3. So the Rockies are going to strand their runner on first base, but still hold a 2-0 lead as we head to the third. A 2-0 lead for the Rockies. Gotta love the run support. Back up in the booth, Jenny Kavnar with Corey Sullivan and Jeff Houston tonight. We just welcomed in Corey. Apparently, we needed reinforcements, Jeff.
Well,
so.
you know what? He had to do the pregame show, and then
I
he had
know.
to get something to eat.
That's right.
And then let it digest.
That's right.
You know, the whole 9 yards.
Hey, listen, when Drew Goodman's off, all hands on deck,
That's
and
right.
I am so happy to see you, my friend.
I'm just happy you guys let me crash the party. I appreciate it. I
Hey,
appreciate
it's
you letting
always
me up
fun.
here.
It's not a party without you, let's be
Well,
honest.
That's probably
You
true.
know the secret handshake. So
I do.
we-
Well, and the last time you guys were, or when Spilly and you were up here,
Yeah.
I heard the tears. I knocked on the door, no one answered.
but-
so I just came in this time. I want to make sure everyone was
There
safe.
you
Yeah,
go.
just come
We're all
straight
good.
in. Well, we are glad that you were here, my friend. And we are glad that the Rockies have a 2-0 lead thanks to a Trevor Story 2-run home run in the first inning. Kyle Freeland against Brent Suter, pitcher on pitcher.
You know, just 21 pitches in the first 2 innings and 8 pitches in the first inning for Kyle. You gotta
That ball is
gotta-
going to be foul.
be careful about Suter, because Tuesday against Corey Kluber. Okay, who would have guessed this?
Never.
Never in a million years.
Corey Kluber didn't think it was possible. That's way back,
I
by the
know.
way.
Yeah, the deep part of the ballpark there at Miller Park. And Kluber, that was the first time he's ever given up a home run to a pitcher. So for Suter, I would just personally retire after that milestone in my career.
I'm definitely not swinging the bat ever again.
No.
I'm saying my last swing was a homer off
That's
Corey
right.
Kluber. You guys have obviously seen how fast he works on the mound.
Yes.
He made it around the bases in 19 seconds. They actually statcasted it. He was flying.
That's
Wouldn't
just
you?
shy of Billy Hamilton.
I mean, that's
Right?
fly, yeah.
But wouldn't you have that much adrenaline if you just hit a home run off Corey Kluber?
I think I would have blacked out.
Here's the 2-1. Kyle falling behind 3-1. Apparently, he knows the secret's out as well.
Yeah, you got to try and stay away from the inside part of the plate.
He goes out to left field. On the run is Parra. And he'll be able to get it in foul territory.
Well, he's played that way, but the ball was just tailing away from him enough that he couldn't reach it. Last night we saw him make the great diving catch in left center field. And he goes all out every single time. Right about now he's thinking, oh, wish my arms were about a foot longer.
Yeah. You need to be 6'4" right there, Gerardo.
So full count to the pitcher. That's high. He's going to walk him. Brewers with a leadoff walk and another base runner to lead off the inning.
It's really something that Kyle has not done in the last 3 ball games. Last 3 games, he's gone 7 innings. He's only walked a total of 4 guys in those 21 innings. You got to regroup and refocus.
First pitch to Lorenzo Cain in there for a strike.
He's mad at himself for not swinging at that pitch where it was up in the zone. See, it's clear as day on the Subaru strike zone.
He's going to swing at that and head it into right field. Kyle's now going to pitch with some traffic. Runners on first and second.
You got the ever dangerous Christian Yelich, who about took his head off in the first inning.
Rockies are working the shift with Trevor Story playing closer to second base. Freeland delivers his 30th pitch of the game for a strike. Gets ahead 0-1.
Trevor's right behind the pitcher. I think you might see some sort of pickoff attempt. You always like to try to do that with the pitcher. He starts to wander too much.
Yelich fouls that off, so 0-2. I love when you can explain the daylight play, so I'm really hoping it's something similar.
Well, with Trevor, where he's at, right behind the pitcher, and Suter, you can already see daylight. It just becomes running to the bag and a quick spin throw from Kyle.
Kyle's going to focus on the batter, and first ball of the at-bat to Yelich, 1-2.
Well, and I think that's smart too when you're 0-2. Don't divert his attention from the hitter. You've got him in the ditch. Go ahead and try to get him out and finish that batter off. Just like that.
Strikeout number 3 for Kyle Freeland. First out.
Yelich now 1 for his last 18 with runners in scoring position. Has the action of a slider. That's why sometimes it's hard to tell with Kyle. Is it a slider? Is it a cutter? Sometimes the depth's more, the velocity's higher.
That's what makes guys who have multiple breaking pitches so effective, because as a hitter, you can't tell. You're up there, you see the dot, you see rotation, but velocity is the difference. And you chase ones that are typically slower in that case.
Ryan Braun's the hitter. Runners on first and second for the Brewers. He's going to swing first pitch, and Trevor Story's going to try and make it 2. Turn to DJ, and Desmond with the pick. He gets the out. Rockies turn 2. Leave a runner stranded. Well, 6-4-3 and a 2-0 lead for the Rocks.
To nothing in the bottom of the 3rd. Now the guy on the mound for the Brewers tonight, Brent Suter, he goes by a name called the Raptor. It was a name that his teammates gave to him because of the way he runs. They said he has a short arm movement, and apparently it looked like a raptor. Well, it's something that he has embraced. He walks out to the Jurassic Park theme song when he's taken the mound in Milwaukee. And then here at Coors Field, he was also having some fun with Dinger. He went up to Dinger, kind of showed him the way he runs, showing him how he's a Raptor, and him and Dinger having a good time as well. So, Jenny, were you able to see that video of Suter walking around with Dinger?
Yeah, I heard it's gone viral at this point, and I do appreciate that. I appreciate the nickname as a whole, and I appreciate the fact that Dinger now has competition in the ballpark with another dinosaur.
I saw the picture of him going up to Dinger, and I couldn't quite tell why he did that. I didn't understand the backstory.
It's pretty special. It's good that he embraces it, though. I have a feeling.
Go ahead and own it.
Yeah, his teammates would be all over him if he didn't.
He gets ahead on DJ, 0-2, and that's high and inside for a ball.
Suter not too shabby for a guy that was a 31st round pick, 965th pick overall out of Harvard.
Harvard. I was
You
going
gotta
to
say
say
it that way. You got to say it that way
Who
too.
knew the Harvard grad would get the Raptor nickname? DJ with the ball deep out to center field, and Lorenzo Kane under it for out number 1.
I wasn't smart enough to go to an Ivy League school. Corey, probably out of the group of us, would be.
Yeah, Corey turned down like 7 of these.
Yeah.
No shot.
Kyle Hendricks, who we saw earlier this year with Dartmouth. And of course, third GM David Stearns went to Harvard. We know Jeff Bridich went to Harvard.
I mean,
there's a whole lineage of people that have come out of an Ivy League school.
They sit in the front office for a reason, right? The smart
Yes.
folks.
I don't know who the player rep is for the Brewers, but I gotta imagine with a degree in environmental science, but public policy, I gotta think he's a good candidate.
Here's the 1-0 to Charlie. It's high for strike 2.
That's what
Charlie's
Charlie
not happy.
said. Charlie said that's too high, and then Will Little's telling him to get back in the box. He's kind of pointing to it. Say, step in there. Charlie's still barking.
Yeah,
and he's doing it the right way, though, Corey, because he's not the only 2 people or 3 people in the ballpark know that he's not happy as a catcher, Charlie and the umpire.
Yeah, he turned away, made sure it was hidden from everybody, and still talking with his head down.
One's in there for a strike, so 1 and 2. I think there's a 4th person in that equation, and it's the television viewer at home. The TV camera can get in there pretty good, too.
But nobody in the ballpark knows it.
That's right.
And I think that's the way you have to argue with an umpire. If you start to turn to him, he's going to puff up his chest, and then everybody knows, and he's got to throw you out.
Yeah, they always say you don't want to show up the umpire. The best way to do it is to let everyone know that you're talking to him.
There's the 2-2 to Charlie. He's going to foul that one back. That has to be hard when you guys are as competitive as you are in there, though. And you know, I mean, Charlie watches so much video. He clearly has taken plenty of at-bats in his career. You know in your heart of hearts that's not a strike. You feel convicted enough to say something.
Exactly. And it's okay.
So the 2-2 again, and that one's going to get Charlie swinging. Well, fans, if the Rockies score 7 or more runs, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies taco special. Live Mas at Taco Bell.
You know, on the topic of umpires and the strike zone, ironically, Ted Barrett's at first base. I can remember a strikeout against Jason Isringhausen on a curveball that was backdoor, and it ended the game. And I told Ted, I was like, there's no way that was a strike. You missed it. The next day he came back and said he watched it and he missed it. I had never had an umpire say that except Ted Barrett.
Ted's a good man.
Yeah.
Nolan Arenado watches the first pitch.
But really, your whole career, he's probably the only guy,
He was
right?
the only umpire who ever told me he missed something.
Yeah.
Here's the 1-0. Nolan swings at that out into left field, and Nolan's going to have extra bases. He's heading into second extra base hit this game. A triple and a double now for Nolan.
So what's that mean? Halfway to the cycle. Well, the pitch that he did the triple to right field, it was a punch on a fastball. This was a curveball that was up on the Subaru Supermo. Might have got in towards the label just a little bit. Not quite on the sweet spot, but still taking it out as far as he did. That's just Nolan being Nolan.
Nolan now has 5 hits off Suter in his career, including a home run, that triple, and a double. So here comes Trevor Story. Here's our T-Mobile Built for Baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile. Trevor Story going deep earlier. The fountains got fired up today. And that's how we got a 2-0 score.
410 feet.
What do you got, Corey?
I missed the call. I wish I could have heard it.
It was beautiful. Right on it.
You know, Trevor's arguing now with that
here's
call.
the deal. Last night, the strike zone with Lance Barksdale was incredibly small. And some of these pitches at the top of the zone or maybe on the corners were called balls. And so tonight, it's a different story. You got to make the adjustment to a different umpire.
Trevor calls time to get reset. You could tell. I mean, he was visibly upset.
Like Charlie.
About that pitch, yes.
But I think now we've seen basically 2 hitters in the same inning. It's only the 3rd inning of the game. You've got to be aware now.
Yeah.
You get in there, that high strike is going to be called.
Go high again. That's going to be the first ball.
And that's a great spot if you're a shooter to go right back to it.
Let's be honest, there's nothing a hitter can do up there.
No.
You can't. And if they're going to consistently call it, if you can locate it up there, keep going to it.
Here's the 1-2. Story's not going to bite. He's going to keep going high. 2-2.
You just hope that you're disciplined enough as a hitter that you don't start to fall for what he's trying to do.
But you've also got to ask, is that the top? Is that as high as you're going to go so that I know where the top of that strike zone is?
Yeah, that's another question. Good point, Corey. So you'll ask the umpire.
Trevor swinging at that one. To left field, and that is fair. Nolan's coming home. We have a 3-0 ball game.
Trevor has been an absolute machine, and especially here at Coors Field. Since April 21st, he has 22 RBIs. He had 4 last night, already 3 tonight. And he has tied Didi Gregorius for the lead among all shortstops. And the 2-out damage, the backbreakers on the 2-out, Corey.
Yeah, they had 5 2-out RBIs last night. That obviously was a good sign. They weren't able to finish it off. 3 already tonight. Anytime you can do that to a team, that's demoralizing.
Keep piling on.
Yep.
Trevor Story now has 19 extra base hits. Desmond with a ground ball to Aguilar over to Braun, and that is out number 3. But not before the Rockies could get on the board again. 3-0, thanks to Trevor Story. Mascot here in Colorado. They were all at Coors Field yesterday for the UC Health Home Run Derby. Is it Dinger, Rocky, Bernie, or Miles? Is that your favorite? You got to pick one of the 4. How you do that? You go to AT&T Sportsnet RM on Twitter. That's where you cast your vote, and we'll show you the results during the post-game show. I mean, Dinger, as lovable as he is, I'm sorry, but Rocky's just so good. I think my vote might have to go to him. He's athletic.
Well, and when
agile.
And when he throws the ball from half court over his head and sinks a shot, I mean, not easy to do.
Now listen, if Dinger had that opportunity, I think he could do something with the half court shot.
He might be able to, but I did watch Dinger yesterday during the UC Health home run derby challenge, and he had this giant glove on, and he couldn't field anything. He was taking ground balls off the stomach, and he kept falling down. We need you to make those plays.
Yeah, I saw him on the ground one time just sitting there too.
I mean, we need those plays.
Jesus Aguilar, the batter. Rocky shifting over to the left side, and Iannetta pointing to the outfield because we're gonna have a little interruption on our day. Freeland's just gonna regroup, reset.
Well, they haul that fool off to the jail that they have here. They'll book him.
It's never worth it.
No, it's not.
So back to the mascot. Who are you guys choosing?
I'm gonna go with
forcing you to pick. You're gonna go with
Yeah,
Rocky?
I'm gonna go with you, yeah,
okay.
Right?
So Rocky, what do you got, Corey?
I'm gonna go with Dinger.
You're gonna go
You wanna
Dinger?
know why, though? You wanna know why?
Yeah.
Because honestly, Riley is infatuated with Dinger.
So your daughter loves Dinger?
Literally every time we come, she has to get his autograph.
Really?
Every single time. She's been doing it since she was a little kid.
That's a,
I mean,
she
she's
did
almost
grow
11
up
now.
doing that
Right.
when you played here.
Yeah.
That's
But I will
an
say this
obvious
about
choice.
Bernie, though, having to skate in the mascot uniform.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
That's got to be tough.
Right. So
He's the only one that doesn't have to worry about being too hot, though. Right?
Yeah, right. So maybe I go with Bernie then to make it fair. So everybody gets a vote except for Thunder.
Miles is his name.
Miles, yeah. Well, I was singing Thunder the horse. I'm sorry.
Aguilar's gonna swing his play back under action, or underway, I should say. 1-2 the count. Kyle did have to check with the umpire before they went. He said 1-1, right?
Yeah.
Get on the same page. It's out of the zone, low for ball 2, 2-2. Fouls that one off.
It'll be interesting to see, too, if Iannetta, you know, decides to climb that ladder knowing that the strike zone's there, knowing that you can get one up there.
Went back down. I was with you. I thought he might do it, but no, he decided to go downstairs. So you were in the home run hitting contest yesterday, right?
I was.
And I think that, you know, I know Spilly won per se because he hit some some of the banners. You want your StatCast numbers on that?
Not really, because
Well,
I'm sure they're
right
not
there
great.
on the screen.
Yeah, you know what?
88.6 miles an hour.
That's not hit very hard, but it went far enough, right?
That's right.
That's all that matters.
That's
Yeah.
I'm okay with making a career out of the first row.
Exit
So
velo
you said
is not.
you had 4 or 5 then, right?
5.
5.
Yes.
Oh, you
I
said
counted the
4.
I
You
counted the
4.
inside the park home run.
Okay.
Oh, you missed that one?
I missed that
That
one.
was so fast.
I counted 4, but we'll give you 5.
We'll
for
give
it.
you
We can
5.
take 4. Either way, it's more than Spilly.
Billy had the 1, but he had the 1 that hit the sign.
Right.
Hit
but
the mitt.
So that's not the difference maker. The difference maker was at third base, they had a $1,000 target, and he rolled over about 5 ground balls right into the $1,000
All I
target.
know is he came upstairs acting like Rocky with the trophy
Well,
and
he
his
has
jersey.
to, right? It's all he's got. He hit 1 homer in 2 years. Think about that. That's all he's got.
But Barmy had the big one, though. He had the $10,000 hit.
Barmy hit 8 total homers. It was impressive. He put on a good performance.
Domingo Santana, the hitter, 2-1. Broken bat. Nolan sticks with it and gets the out.
That ball, or the bat, ended up just by the tarp in the stands about 120 feet from home plate. So out of your peripheral, if you're Nolan, you'll see something going. Notice how he had to flinch for a second? That was because he had to see where the bat was going first before the baseball comes at him. So he flinches. Oh, okay, that's the ball on the ground. The bat is to my right, and it's way down there.
Did you see how how much he put on that throw. He knew he had to go.
Well, he had to.
Yeah, he knew he had to go.
Hernan Perez now swings at the first pitch, swings and misses, 0-1. He started the season just 1 for 17 and now hitting .310 in the 21 games since. One outside, so 2-1.
Out of the 46 pitches for Kyle, he's thrown 31 strikes. 11 of 15 first pitch strikes.
There's another grounder to Nolan on the ground. He's going to throw from his knees and get the out. That's just Nolan being Nolan, folks. And air won't slow Nolan down. From the ground to get out number 3, and the Rockies still lead 3-0.
A lot of it has to do with the defense that we just saw from Nolan. I mean, he had 2 tough plays that last half inning. The one with the bat going to his right over towards the stands on the slow roller, and the one to end the top of the 4th.
Will Cuevas trying to get the inning started for the Rocks. Fouls one off, 0-2.
All right, we're going to give you guys a little in-game quiz.
Okay.
Because after the New York game, Kyle threw 7 innings. I noticed something. He started pitching in a lot more to righties.
Yes.
How many broken bats you think he's got tonight?
I think he has
got
3.
2.
He had 3 in 1 inning. So he's up to 4 now.
4, okay.
So we were both wrong.
No,
that's why it was a quiz.
We're going to add them up and subtract 1.
You're going to throw out the high score and the low score.
But what I'm getting to is he's really using that cutter a lot more effectively into right-handed hitters. And when you're talking about 4, 5, 6 broken bats, it tells you that he's really, really getting on the side of it and making it move.
It's cutting the bat, literally.
Yeah.
And you hate the word literally.
Unless it's used correctly, literally.
Cuevas going to watch the high ball, 2-2. Start to see on the Subaru strike zone, he's living high now after getting those high calls against Charlie and Story.
You guys just feel more comfortable pitching up in the zone. I think most pitchers are taught, well, you got to work at the knees, got to work at the knees. But there's a point, though, where it becomes more effective when you do go up. It's more of a surprise when you go down and away.
I think for guys with low spin rates, low velo, I think Zach Davies is one of those guys. Kyle Hendricks, he likes to work down and up. Zach Greinke's the opposite. He used to be a power pitcher who could work up, and it's another way to combat those home runs, that launch angle that everybody's working on.
7 pitch at bat so far for Cuevas. Here's pitch 8, and that's going to be high for ball 3, 3-2.
Well, now you feel like, what? I did everything I could because I was down 0-2, and I fouled off a few, and feel like I'm in control now as a hitter.
Cuevas fouls off another. Cuevas just 1 for 3 this series. 1 hit was a pinch hit. Timeout was called.
That's a good job from Noel because Suter likes to work quick.
Yeah, you saw that in the first inning. DJ, Charlie, they all were holding time. Nolan did it too, to make sure they could get set.
Sets up outside, and Cuevas will watch for ball 4.
Get Rockies ready, folks, at your local Rockies dugout stores. From tickets to merchandise, the dugout stores have all the bases covered all year long.
Gerardo Parra, the batter, with Cuevas on first. Parra last night, his first 4-hit game since last July in 2017. He does have 3 5-hit career games, by the way. 4 seems like a lot of hits.
It is a lot of hits.
And then you go, he has 3 5-hit games?
I don't know anything about 5-hit games.
I never had a 5-hit game.
I don't know anything I don't even think I didn't.
Combined, did you have a 5-hit game?
Well, we probably had a couple 4-hit games.
I did, yeah, I did have a 4-hit game.
Here's the first pitch to Parra. He swings and fouls that one back.
And then I couldn't even think about what Charlie did opening day a few years back when he had 6 hits.
You got to think about walking away right there. Is it going to get better?
I don't think so.
Cuevas getting some instruction from Tony Diaz. Charlie's contemplating those 6 hits, by the way.
I would too.
Every game. Just channel that. They're going to check the runner at first. He does have a pretty quick pickoff move. By the way, Huey, we're talking about 4-hit games.
Yeah.
You had one of those.
Yeah, in San Diego. Old Jack Murphy Stadium. The old Murph.
August 5th, 2000. A turn of the century 4-hitter, if you will.
Day game. I think the combined of all 4 hits did travel 250 feet.
I'm glad you guys don't remember anything about your careers.
No. Couple of scratch infield past the pitcher.
Perfect. I heard you say the other night it doesn't even out. What are you talking about?
It
You're talking about.
But even now I'd hit higher than 236 or whatever my career average was.
So you're saying you lined out?
Oh, 100 times.
Okay.
Corey, you had 5 4-hit games. So I just wanted to once again show you that Corey's the winner.
I'm not the winner. We're both up here.
Making sure Cuevas doesn't take a bigger lead.
I think it's kind of hard to get a read on Brent, so I would look for a ball that's in the dirt if I'm going to try to advance. Just shave the edge. Tried to on the Subaru strike zone. Even with the check down to third to Lance Barksdale, no swing.
So 2-2 for Parra. When you work quick like Suter does, probably have a quick pickoff move too.
He does.
to right center field. It's going to hang in the air and end up in Lorenzo Cain's glove. Cuevas thought about going to second.
I think
Only
Domingo Santana lost this ball in the sky.
Yeah, I think if Lorenzo Cain doesn't have that off the bat, that could have been real problems for the Brewers, because Santana, the moment this ball leaves the bat, his arms are out like I got no idea where it is. And Lorenzo, being a pretty good defensive center fielder, stays with it and is able to wrangle it in.
So Chris Iannetta will try and move Cuevas over.
Chris with the seeing eye base hit to right field, right center field. Still a lot of territory there. Well, last night, Chris in the 4th inning for his 4th home run, 11th RBI. That ball traveled 424 feet. It's part of that big 5-run force for the Rockies.
Watches that for a ball. He has 41 career home runs now at Coors Field. 201 hits. I mean, it's not like you forget, but he was here for so long. I mean, the numbers have added up at Coors Field coming back this year. Swings at the 1-1, 1 and 2.
I think like any player that gets further along in their career, they become a different type of player. And I think that's where Chris is at now in his career. Corey, you know better than anybody. You played with him.
Yeah, I think when Chris came up, he was a little too cerebral when he got in the box. You know, he's a very bright guy, and sometimes he can get caught overthinking. We call it paralysis by analysis, and I think now he's taken a little more proactive approach in the physicality of hitting. He worked with Edgar Martinez when he was with the Mariners, worked on getting on that backside and really carrying his body weight or mass into impact instead of just standing on that back foot and spinning.
13 seasons now for Chris Iannetta. Watches the 2-2 to a full count.
You talk about the hitting for Chris. Just think about the styles from when he first started to where it is now. It's completely different styles. So that's why when he went with Edgar, Edgar always hit that way, coming off that back leg.
Yep.
Oh, you don't mean how you wear your baseball pants? Not that style?
No, not that tight style.
I think it was pretty baggy back then.
Yeah. I mean, you could almost slide a pencil into his pant leg.
Right.
So it was pretty bad.
The 3-2, Chris is going to swing. That one's in the air and foul.
Thought for a moment that was going to drop into no man's land.
I'm glad you had that same read. I thought I might have to start getting glasses.
No, I was like, okay. I knew the right fielder in Santana wasn't going to reach it.
I think what got us all was Braun's angle to the ball. He was staying in fair territory the whole time, and we're all thinking it's going to fall.
Right, and then that's some of the inexperience of playing first base.
Iannetta calls time, waiting for pitch number 8 of his at bat. Get reset. I think at this point they just want to make sure that Cuevas can get those pants into the laundry room ASAP.
Get dirty.
I don't think Noel's going anywhere at first base with Kyle Freeland on deck.
Iannetta sends that out to left field and right at the left fielder in Yelich.
Can't hit the ball much harder than that.
Corey mentioned Kyle Freeland will be the batter. Made contact in the second. got to put the ball in play and try and keep this inning going.
Cardinals do. He's just one hit on the year.
We know that pitchers like to compete, and Bettis had his second hit of the year last night.
They
So
don't want him to get too far ahead.
no. Kyle's been efficient today, just 48 pitches. He might be getting 2 more bats, including this one. And look at that! A single for Kyle Freeland, hit number 2 on the season, and he's all tied up with Chad Bettis.
And just 2 behind Herman, who has 4.
That's going to be a hard one to catch.
You know, because of Herman's hitting skills, one of his bats got taken into the Derby yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good piece of hitting on the Subaru Supermo. There's a big breaker. He goes down, and Noel has to leap. Braun takes a step and a dive, still misses it by 2 feet on the Subaru Supermo. It's a good-looking dive, though.
I saw a little bit of a golf swing, or Kyle's golf swing, in his swing. And if that gets you hits, keep
Use
golfing,
it.
kid.
Kyle's golf swing is phenomenal. He can hit a ball a mile, so it's only a matter of time before he figures it out baseball-wise, backspin some baseballs.
First pitch to DJ, a strike. DJ will have his opportunity with the runner in scoring position. 2 on for the Rocks. And 2 to DJ. He's going to swing at that high ball for out number 3, and the Rockies are going to strand both their runners. On to the 5th we go.
Freeland, and this starting rotation for the Rockies this year is the fact that every single one of them have only ever worn a Colorado uniform, which is a first in franchise history. That the 5 guys who have the most starts have only ever spent their big league career with Colorado. Now we've seen the fruit of how well they've pitched on the mound this year, and they credit it to growing up in this organization. But what I also learned from John and Kyle is that it has been special off the field as well.
We've been through all the stages in this organization, and we were taught what it takes, and now we're here, and we're doing what we were taught, and we're keeping that with us.
We take a lot of pride, you know, wearing the CR. So it's a very cool thing, and you know we're definitely proud to come to the ballpark every day and have that exciting I guess, opportunity. So it's been a long ride, and it's been fun to watch everyone grow in the process.
Now, guys, to make this about a little bit more than baseball, my dad, who was the president here for 10 years, used to always talk about how important relationships were. And he used to tell players that, you know, you can go out there tomorrow and be the best baseball player that you want to be, but if you don't have relationships, you don't have anything. And I think it's so cool to hear these pitchers appreciate that once they reach that level of success that they want, they're going to really appreciate it because they all grew up together. And Corey, I'm sure you can attest to that, having grown up in the Rockies organization, that once you got to the World Series with guys who you had been through the minors with, it was that much more special.
Yeah, Taylor, I mean, honestly, growing up through the minor leagues with the core group of guys, with Matt Holliday, with Brad Hopp, with Clint Barmas, and Garrett, and Jeff Francis, we became like brothers. And to be honest with you, it was amazing how that developed other things like accountability, like responsibility to your teammates. And I think that's important, and I think we see a lot of similarities, whether it's with Charlie and DJ and Nolan, who came up together, or these young starters. They all know each other so well that when they struggle, they can rely on each other to help them and help pick them up. And that's a very unique thing that you see in Major League Baseball.
Kyle Freeland with his first fly ball out to Arcia, now facing the catcher and Jet Bandy. Jet Bandy to center field. Charlie tracking this one for out number 2. Taylor's talking about those homegrown starters. You look at them: Chad Bettis, Tyler Anderson, John Gray, Kyle Freeland, all drafted in the first or second round, and all within the last 8 years. So again, your experiences, your growth and development together. You know, we were joking about how they compete with the hits that they have, but they do. You start to foster those relationships with the amount of time and the amount of experience that you have together. Now that you're all at the big league level, you have a bigger common goal.
Nothing beats or can replace the bus rides, the minor leagues where you're eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Yep.
Because you can't afford anything else.
Yep. When you get to grind with somebody and really experience certain things, it teaches you about the other person.
That'd be over Gerardo's head.
It is. And that is going to be a ground rule double out of the ballpark. We told you he had some pop. He just had a home run on Tuesday against Corey Kluber. And now Suter has a double.
Pretty good looking swing from Suter. Again, inside out, first double of the year, high finish. You know, Gerardo did the right thing, and you play in and you play over towards the line, and when he hits it that far, you just kind of got to tip your cap and say, you know, you beat me this time.
Yeah, I mean, when a pitcher does that, he's pumped up, but he looked like a chicken with his head cut off running around first base. He almost missed first.
The Raptor run.
Yeah, the Raptor run.
It's your first career double. I think you are a little, you know, curious how to make it to second in the first place. He got there, and Lorenzo Cain will be the batter now. Freeland gets that in for a strike.
Well, he's watching this, and almost forgot, oh yeah, I've got to touch first.
Here's the Raptor arms. So the dinosaur made it into second. He's had a big week at the plate.
He
Again,
has.
retire, sir. Maybe a payback since Kyle Freeland. Oh, Kyle's gonna check the runner.
He got
He's
a little
getting
squirrely.
frisky.
He got a little squirrely out there.
Okay.
He's blacked out right now.
Oh, I'm gonna go. Well, no,
Yeah.
I'm not. What?
Forgot there's 2 outs too.
I think Kyle's like, I'll just focus on the batter
Yeah.
here. We're good. Comes the 0-1 to Cain. And they're for strike 2.
And Kyle caught a break. That was inside on the Subaru strike zone.
Now you got the Brewers bench and Lorenzo too, letting him know that wasn't a strike.
Kyle with a runner on second, and the 0-2. Down and away, ball 1, 1-2.
It's tough because he'll take the pitch that's away. He'll take it to right field. He's strong enough if you go inside, but you don't get it in enough that he can pull the hands in.
side for ball 2, 2-2. He did go. Kyle records his 5th strikeout of the game in inning number 5, stranding a runner on second. Freeland fans fired up. Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. Fun night at the ballpark so far. Rockies have a 3-0 lead. All runs compliments of Trevor's Story. Charlie Blackman's going to lead off the bottom of the 5th. Jenny Kavnar, Corey Sullivan, Jeff Houston with you tonight. Taylor McGregor as well. And Drew is coaching his kids' team. And guess what?
They won.
2-0 today.
Yeah, so they advanced to the
Arapahoe
state.
High School advancing. So congratulations to the Warriors. Charlie takes the first pitch for a ball. This is where you start to wonder for Suter if kind of the day the adrenaline's going to kick in, because again, not being scheduled to start until tomorrow. Come in, find out Chase Anderson's been ill, and it's go time for you. You know, the Brewers, our counterparts on the Brewers side, hit quick heart, or he has a smooth heartbeat. Nothing seems to phase him. But again, I think you get a little bit of an adrenaline punch early.
Yeah, so April 5th, he threw a season-high 96 pitches. His last time out against Cleveland, he had to go in after 1 out when Wade Miley pulled an oblique. So he threw 81 pitches and 4 2/3 of relief in that game. So I think he's starting to get towards that, you know, that danger area. Not quite red line yet, but it's up there.
And I think for the Rockies hitters, we always talk about the 3rd time through, but with a guy that's a little bit of a softer throw on lefty, as we see a change out in the field as well. We've now got Aguilar moving over to the right side of second base. We got Arcia moving over back towards shortstop. But these guys now have seen him. They know what he's throwing. They know how he actually executes pitch counts and things like that, and they can go out there and attack now.
Can you count this as Aguilar's first start at second base too? Charlie, he swings at full count. Gonna hang in the air. Might be a little bit of trouble. Nope. Yelich getting right under it for out number 1.
The first The first 10,000 fans through the gates on tomorrow will receive a Colorado Rockies Mother's Day bracelet. And of course, it will be one Jenny Kavanaugh's first Mother's Day.
It will be. That's exciting. I hope we get a bracelet tomorrow to mark it. You know, it's funny. We've been talking about that. Last Mother's Day, we announced that I was pregnant with my son Vincent, and this year, he's here.
Yeah.
7 months old.
He is. Growing like a weed. Nolan with a grounder, the shortstop, and look out number 2. Yeah, excited they're going to come to the ballpark tomorrow, and no better way to celebrate Mother's Day than baseball, right?
That's
At least
correct.
that's what we say in my household.
My household, too.
Flowers help. A clean house helps.
My mother is set to come to the game as well.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
We'll make it a full AT&T Sportsnet Mother's Day affair. Here comes Trevor Story. A home run in the first, a double in the third, and 3 RBI for the 3-0 lead. Does that about sum up the game?
Yep, pretty much. Quick game summary right there. And what a day it's been. He started off in the first inning. First pitch that he sees, takes it out to left. This is a play they had to review to see if the fan was reaching over or not. See,
Trevor Story to left field, and we are going to fire up the fountains for the second time at Coors Field tonight. A solo home run for Trevor. Home run number 10 on the season. All ribbies make up the story of Trevor.
so he's hit a curveball out. He hit a fastball for a double. And now let's go for the trifecta with the changeup. Well, we couldn't get him out with the first couple. We're going to throw him a changeup. Trevor says, I got that changeup. I'll hit it out on the Subaru Supermo. That's the 6th time in his career he's had multi-home run games. You have to go back to August 16th of last year against the Braves when he had 2 home runs. It's 32 RBI, so he takes over the Major League lead as far as shortstops go. One ahead of Didi Gregorius.
And how about back-to-back nights, Corey, for Trevor? 4 RBIs last night, 4 RBI tonight.
And we heard Bud in the postgame last night talking about Trevor's at bat, the 10-pitch sacrifice fly, and how he was able to get rid of some really tough pitches as Ian Desmond pops that up. Again, we've got Domingo not being able to see the ball and Lorenzo getting over there to end the inning. But Bud was talking about Trevor and the work that he's put in and the incredible job that he's done, and obviously it's paying dividends now. It's
paying off for sure. The last 9 games for Trevor have been hot. His first multi-home run game of the 2018 season and a 4-0 lead. its 40th game played this season. Also happens to be the Rockies' 40th game of the year. So Trevor has been a workhorse, no doubt about it. And that bat is starting to come around. And not just come around, it's hot.
Yeah, it's about executing a game plan at the plate. Trevor has done so. And when you talk about covering 3 different pitches, Huey, that's a phenomenal thing. It's very difficult to do just to hit the 3 pitches,
Right.
let alone put them in play with authority.
And then hit 2 of them out.
Kyle Freeland, 61 pitches on the night now, 1 and 1.
Kyle, 8 ground ball outs tonight. Just 2 flyouts, 5 strikeouts.
Facing Christian Yelich, and every time I see Yelich's face, I cannot think of his name, but the actor from Saturday Night Live, they're identical
Yeah, you're
twins.
right.
What's that guy doing playing baseball?
I can't think of his name.
Oh
either.
yeah, it's Christian Yelich. Swings at the 2-1, 2-2. Sneak that one in on the corner. It'll be a ball. Full count, 3-2.
There's 2 or 3 3-ball counts for Kyle. One of them came to the pitcher. And he walked in the 3rd.
Swing at that, and on the shift right to Nolan for out number 1.
Those 3-ball counts that you're talking about, Huey. You and I were talking in Pittsburgh when we were there with that start he had. That was really the difference, is he was getting into so many deep counts that he was so inefficient because he had so many 3-ball counts. And the last 3 starts, it's really been the difference, is he is so efficient at getting early outs.
It just makes it be able to go into the game so much, or go deeper into the game so much easier. I mean, he didn't, just looking back at that Pittsburgh game, the tempo wasn't real good in that game, you know, because he just couldn't find that arm slot.
Kyle falls behind Ryan Braun, 1-0. Braun's going to watch that for a strike.
For Kyle tonight, too, I think the other thing, Corey, he's able to command both sides of the plate. And as a hitter, you know, it's hard when you have to say, oh, I've got to worry about the one outside and the one inside.
You're always taught to look away, react in, but when you see both sides getting hammered out there, as a hitter, you don't know what to do because you're going up there trying to guess pitch and location, and there's too many factors involved at that point. You're already done.
Yeah. You always hear about hitters guessing. It's usually guessing location.
Right.
Here's the 2-1 from Freeland. Braun's going to foul that back. 2-2.
Kyle took a little deep breath after he threw that ball. He turned around. You could see his shoulders go up and come back down because he knew he got away with one. To Braun. That's just pretty much center cut, belt high in the Kyle. Whew. Got lucky there.
Braun's a .330 hitter against left-handed pitchers. He's going to watch that one for a ball. Full count again.
Just the 3rd time tonight for Kyle to have a 3-ball count.
Watch that for ball 4. So now Freeland, the runner on first and 1 out. We'll see Jesus Aguilar.
We'll get on-demand access to the rooftop with the Rooftop Ballpark Pass. You can choose the days and redeem your pass from your phone. Go to Rockies.com/pass for more information.
Aguilar 1 for 2 on the day. Here's the rooftop buzzing on a Saturday. Always seems the place to be. It actually could be Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Freeland falls behind again, 1-0.
This is a portion of the lineup you don't want to be falling behind too. Saw with Braun and especially Aguilar, who had the foul home run earlier.
Aguilar, 480 hitter career against the Rockies, including that single in the second. Punched out in the fourth. And now 2-0. Freeland's going to check Braun.
See what happens with Kyle. The second really goes down. 50 points. Back up again to the 280s the third time through.
Aguilar takes a healthy hack, fouls that one off.
I don't think he's happy with himself on that 2-0 swing when you foul it off the other way. I think for Kyle you are. You're happy he did that.
Fouls off the 2-1. So 2 foul balls brings him to 2-2. 75 pitch mark for Kyle Freeland.
Threw 103 in his last start in New York, 99 the start before, 90 the start before that.
And he gets Aguilar going down, swinging. That's strikeout number 6 for Freeland.
Come back from 0-2. I think it was set up by the 2-0 foul ball to right field. Aguilar started shaking his head a little bit. He challenged him on the Subaru Supermo with a 92-mile-an-hour fastball and wasn't able to get it.
Domingo Santana, the batter, 0 for 2 on the day, grounded out both times. And DJ's going to jump just over DJ's head. Braun's going to make it first to third. Now you have runners on the corners.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Kyle because he made a good pitch. Just kind of threw it over the head of DJ. These are awkward for an infielder because you're like, do I go back? When do I time my leap? What do I do? I know it's not hit too hard. And I don't care if you're 6'4" like DJ or High Pockets Kelly. He's just not going to be able to make that as a second baseman.
That's one of those two for Kyle Freeland. You feel like you made the perfect pitch.
Yeah.
And there's just nothing you can do when a hitter is just strong enough to fight it off into the outfield.
You know where I was going with the High Pockets Kelly, right?
I do.
I was about to go right there.
I know. That's kind of why I diverted it away from there.
High Pockets Kelly. It's one of our favorite Tracy Ringles
Yeah.
bees. He can dig just about any stat from anywhere, and tallest second baseman in Major League history.
DJ and High Pockets Kelly.
That's right. Hernan Perez fouls off the first pitch. 0 for 2 on the day. Strikeout and a ground out. That great play that Nolan had to end the 4th inning. Now looking for a great play to end the 6th. Check the runner at first.
Hope the trend continues and it reverses what it's been for the first 2 nights for the Brewers. They've been 10 for 22 the first 2 nights with runners in scoring position. Tonight, 0 for 6.
Here's the 0-1 from Freeland. He's going to swing on that. Fouls it down
That's
left
about,
field seats.
Corey, that's about the only thing you can do with that cut fastball in your hands.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Is you're probably watching go, wow, he got a good swing off there, but there is no way for him to keep that pitch fair. That's exactly what you're trying to accomplish, because now you're 0-2, you've made him inside conscious, and Kyle's got the whole outer part of the plate to use, or elevation.
Braun walked. He's on third after Santana knocked a single. Kyle Freeland's trying to get out of a jam.
Santana just tried 2 stolen base attempt. Successful one time.
That ball's high, 2-2.
It's really the first inning that the control hasn't been what we saw the first 5 innings.
Tell Kyle trying to fight through something, just get this last out. Is that one back?
Well, that's why Bud's on the phone. He's seen the same thing too, and it's just a case where I want to make sure that this doesn't get out of control.
Perez a .467 batting average in the last 10 days. That's the 3rd highest in the National League. Hitless tonight, and Freeland looks to keep it that way on the 2-2. Down and away, 3-2. So yet another full count for Kyle Freeland this inning.
Just reminding the infielders that they got to go across with the runner at first taken off. Because of that, Ian Desmond will back up, give himself a little more range.
Here's the 3-2, the runner going, and that ball should be a routine play for Charlie. He's calling off Cuevas, and it is. Kyle Freeland escapes the 6th. Brewers strand 2. Starting pitcher. Let him take a quick breath and getting out of the top of the 6th. Having traffic, he had runners on 1st and 3rd and got a fly out to end the inning. So that's how the Brewers remain scoreless. We got a new pitcher for the Brewers, Alec Asher. His contract was selected today from down in AAA with the Sky Sox. They make their home in Colorado Springs.
It was 2-0 with a 1.93 ERA in the Springs. 3 games started, 14 innings, 12 hits. Given up by Asher. You see the numbers last year with Baltimore. High ERA, 5.25. 263 batting average against for Alec.
face Noel Cuevas. Swinging, that one goes high in the infield. And gonna be an easy play for Arcia. I think this answers part of our question about who's going to start tomorrow for the Brewers. With Asher coming up today, he's been starting primarily down at AAA. Thought he might be able to make that spot start tomorrow with Suter getting moved up today. But Chase Anderson might be well enough to go tomorrow after having an illness. The doctors were going to check him out this evening. He was going back to the hotel planning on resting. So could possibly be Chase Anderson tomorrow, or the Brewers might have to make another move. Starting rotation has been all over the board.
Yeah, but it helps that Colorado Springs is at home. So their AAA affiliate, they're not out on the road. So it's what, an hour, 20 minutes from the ballpark to ballpark?
Yeah, especially on a Sunday, no traffic.
And they don't have to ride the super shuttle. It's not like or the front range shuttle, whatever.
It only leaves at 10.
Yeah, but you don't have to stop at the outlet malls in Castle Rock.
Exactly.
You get the direct. Okay.
Three and 0 to Parra. Strike one of the at bat. 3-1. Swings at that, fouls it off, and Fan missed the catch.
Oh, man.
I hate when that happens.
I think the fan probably hates it more.
Yeah, the ball goes from the third deck to the first, right behind home plate, and a souvenir for a fan down below.
And then it's stories for years to come. I had this foul ball, it hit me right in the hand.
Don't drop your beer in the process. Full count to Parra. Parra's gonna work a base hit.
He could have a couple tonight. He roped the one in this second inning, that line drive to Jesus Aguilar that he snagged on the snow cone.
Well, with the pitching change and Asher coming in, plenty of defensive changes to get to as well. Ryan Braun moved out to left field. Kane still in center. Yelich moves from left to right. Perez is at third base. Arcia, he remains at shortstop. VR came in the game. He's at second base. Aguilar went from third to first. And of course, Asher, the pitcher. So a little shuffle. Craig Counsell likes to do that.
Well,
Mix
first
it up.
yeah, the first
Ruin
they
my
did
scorebook.
it this afternoon by changing pitchers on us. Good thing I have this old-fashioned whiteout.
Yes.
Some people think that it's, you know, no longer in style, yet somebody borrowed it from me today.
Older and wiser.
The best part is yesterday we needed to seek out someone with whiteout, and of course it was someone of your age bracket that had it.
Maybe a generation above his age bracket. Yes, in the press box we had to go searching for some whiteout.
So the old whiteout that you had to use with the little brush.
I will say, yeah,
I've
this
gone
is
to the
new
tape.
school
I've gone
whiteout.
to the tape, yeah. But today, didn't we need it? I have to go get a new one tonight when I go home.
You are, because I had to
'Cause
borrow it.
Yeah,
several
you did everything.
lines.
And you were laughing yesterday about the whiteout, weren't you?
I was the one who had to go find it to help her with her scorebook.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Yeah,
It's
see?
a last-minute
We
pitching
don't,
change.
I mean, we're not able to just do that like they do on the the lineup cards in the dugout. No, we go old-fashioned here, people.
So 1-0 to Chris Ionetta. He rips that down the left field line. That's going to be fair. Parra, he's trucking towards third, and Ionetta's going to have himself a double.
That hit right on the painted line. It's not chalk, it's paint.
It's not whiteout?
It's not, it's a lot of white out there. Because watch the white fly. As Chris hooks his ball. How, you can see the paint go up on the Subaru Supermo. It used to be when they did it with the chalk, it was like a cloud of dust then with the pop up. Probably not real health conscious there.
That was back in the 60s when Jeff played.
So the fourth double of the season for Iannetta. Now 2 runners in scoring position for the pitcher, Kyle Freeland. Don't count him out, folks. He got a single in the 4th inning. He's chomping at the bit after Suter had a double, his counterpart. It's a hefty swing, that one.
I like it. You got ducks on the pond, opportunity to help yourself at the plate. You get a fastball in the strike zone, go after it.
Another swing. 0-2. I don't think you can go wrong. You either make contact and it's a nice ribby for you, or you flip the lineup over to DJ LeMahieu.
It's a win-win. Obviously, the 2 RBIs would be a nice little treat.
Down swinging on 3 pitches. Again, Alec Asher, the reliever, purchased today from Colorado Springs, their AAA affiliate.
We'll put Wade Miley on the 60-day DL to make room for Asher.
He said he was about on 5 days rest, so he knew he might come in today in long relief or possibly get that start tomorrow, and answered fairly quickly after Suter went 5 innings.
Yeah, they sent Jacob Barnes down, one of their big guys in the bullpen, but it was a case where they needed an arm more than anything after all the guys they went through last night.
Here's DJ 0 for 3 on the night. He swings at the first pitch and out number 3. Rockies leave 2 stranded, but still lead 4-0. Down and reminisce with his good friend and mentor, Angels manager Mike Scioscia. Plus, the Rockies take their talents to Buckley Air Force Base to teach the game they love to some young ball players. That and local sports celebrities take some healthy swings at Coors Field. All that and much more coming up tomorrow, a brand new edition of The Club. It was a fun week outside of the game, and hopefully we'll get a good look at that on The Club tomorrow. Been fun for Kyle Freeland so far. He's going to head into the 7th. His last 3 outings got through 7. 3 quality starts is what he's working on coming into this inning right now.
And I think this is where Bud likes to see the growth of the players and the pitcher in particular.
Facing Arcia for the 3rd time tonight, and Arcia is going to find DJ LeMahieu trekking back towards right field to make the out.
You know, when he came off the field, we had the shot of him kind of, putting his hand on his shoulder, you're thinking, well, he might take him out, he might not, leave him in. But Corey, you and I were talking in a commercial break. We really like this move.
I think that's the experience you have when you have a pitcher as a manager. It's A, giving the opportunity to the youngster, and B, challenging him. Let's see what you can do. Let's see what you're made of.
Kyle Freeland working on 85 pitches through 103 his last start.
Well, and the other thing too is it's 55 degrees. It's not a hot, humid day. It really hasn't had a lot of traffic out there. A couple times he's had runners at first and third, but with 2 outs. So not a whole lot of stressful pitches tonight for Kyle.
2 straight balls for Kyle, 2-0 to the catcher Jet Bandy, who's 0 for 2 on the day. Rockies have the shift on DJ to the left side. It's in for a strike. Here's the Subaru StatCast to take a look at the shift. Again, DJ sliding over, so 3 infielders on the left side.
And again, some people have asked me, well, what do you mean by the shift? Exactly that, what Jenny just said. It's 3 guys on one particular side of second base. So these 3 guys right over there, that's what constitutes a shift.
Good arts and crafts hour, Huey.
I do my best.
You've been drawing a lot with the granddaughter, right?
You figured it out, yeah.
Here's another full count for Kyle Freeland.
My reading's improved too.
And your singing. I'm not sure about your dancing though.
No, none of that is improved.
And he's going to watch that for ball 4.
Rockies baseball is always live with the MLB at Bat mobile app. You can stay connected all season with video highlights, stats, news, and more. Well, Brian Shaw is up in the Rockies bullpen. I know it doesn't take him very long to get going. I think for Kyle, what you're looking at now after that walk, give me a ground ball. Let me turn another double play. They've already turned 1 tonight.
So Freeland issued his 3rd walk of the game, now facing Jonathan Villar. Ball's in there for a strike. And Conference on the mound.
This was quick. As soon as that ball hit Chris's glove, he popped up and started running out there.
So this will be the first mound visit for the Rockies today. Again, 6 mound visits allowed throughout the course of the game when it's not a pitching change. Buddy's kind of looking in.
I think he's looking at Chris.
And I'm thinking with Ian going out there, maybe he didn't come set.
That's possible.
It's also the first time they're seeing Jonathan Villar this game.
Villar last night came in against Otto, grounded out to first to end the 8th last night. What starts to happen with guys, when they're reaching towards the end of their night, is not the velocity. The velocity doesn't really decrease. It's the location and the command that's not as sharp.
That's what we saw with that pitch right there in ball 3, 3-1. +90 pitches for Kyle in his last 3 starts. Got all the way up to 103, as we mentioned, in his last outing. With 1 out and 1 on. A 3-1 count to Villar. Fourth walk of the game for Kyle, and Bud Black is ready to make a pitching change. Taking the baseball from Kyle Freeland. So Kyle, 6 1/3 innings today. Held the Brewers scoreless, but the 2 base runners belong to him. He's getting a great hometown ovation for the Denver kid. Brian Shaw will be in next. Just 4 hits, not an earned run yet. The 2 runners on base will go to his line. 4 walks, including those 2 on 6 strikeouts and 96 pitches. So another great outing, a 4th straight outing for Kyle Freeland. Getting high fives in the dugout. Had a nice standing ovation, and Steve Foster pleased with his starter as well. Welcome back, Steve Foster, by the way. He was out of town for his son's graduation from college, so exciting times for him. And now the baseball is turned over to Brian Shaw. His 22nd appearance this year. His 22 games lead the National League for relievers. And that first pitch swung on and missed for a strike from Lorenzo Cain.
Brian pitched in the 7th inning last night. Gave up a hit to Aguilar, but then got the next 2 guys out, including a double play. So we're going to face 3 batters. Threw a total of 11 pitches last night. That's just a filthy cutter.
I think Lorenzo Cain's thinking the same thing, causing him to be late.
I think when Shaw lets go of this pitch, it's right down the middle, and you see exactly how much movement that is, not just by Iannetta taking the glove away, but Cain's swing.
2 late swings from Cain and an 0-2 count. Shaw goes away for the first ball, 1 and 2.
And I think that's the hard thing for Chris too, is you know, you want to set up, you don't want to set up right in the middle, but his ball moves so much that sometimes that might not be a bad idea, because then it's going to move to a corner.
And it varies in its movement. It's got to make it hard, almost like a knuckleball, because you don't know exactly how much it's going to move.
I don't think Brian knows how much it's going to move at times. And it's hard too. 97 miles an hour.
Yeah, Cain trying to be a little bit more patient. Comes the 2-2. Cain swings on that, a ground ball. Nolan's gonna take it. Bare hand gets the out at first.
He's magical over there. You know, last night we saw him try to barehand a ball. That was his only play. And he couldn't make it because it was so close to the line. This time he knows who's running, and Cain, he grabs it, is able to, as he's coming up, change the grip on the baseball. Because whenever you barehand a ball, it naturally goes into your hand like a changeup. He's able to put it out to his fingertips.
And with that, Shaw did his job, induced the ground ball for the second out, and time for a pitching change. More on Mike Dunn when we return. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees, that's transparency. By Subaru. Love, that's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. And by Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets by visiting wellsfargo.com/Rockies. And back at Coors Field, still in the 7th, 2 outs and 2 on. Both those via the walk, and Kyle Freeland, his day was done. After 6 in the 3rd, Brian Shaw worked an out. And now it's time for Mike Dunn to finish the inning.
Mike on Thursday night came in to face Yelich, and he struck him out. These two guys were former teammates from 2013 through 2016 in Miami.
Corey looked up the actor for me from SNL.
Pete Davidson.
There you go. Pete Davidson
They-
lookalike. They've
Well,
met.
yeah, they've met.
Yeah, they took batting practice together. I mean, they could be twins. I digress.
But you're right.
Here comes the 0-1 for Mike Dunn. That's high. 1-1.
Mike trying to get that ERA back down, and then the other number too is just 8 walks in 9 innings for Mike. A little higher than his career normal.
To left field, and Parra right under it. So the runners will be stranded, and Kyle Freeland's line, no earned runs through 6 in the 3rd. We head to the bottom 7.
for the Rockies as they lead 4-0, and it's that man right there, Trevor Story. I'm going to show you some numbers on StatCast. Brought to you by Subaru. First home run, 101.3 miles an hour off the bat, 410 feet is the projected distance. Well, he just decided to do a little bit better his second time up. This one travels 413 feet, and it left the bat at 107.2 miles an hour. So he even topped his first home run. Great night again for Trevor Story.
Anything I can do better. Does that one work out?
Yeah, it does. It's got a nice little ring to it.
Charlie Blackmon will lead things off for the Rockies here in the top of the 7th. And that ball is going to be a routine grounder for out number 1. So many changes. I had to make sure Arcia was still playing shortstop.
Well, and then with the shifts, Perez moving over to third. VR at second now.
Nolan Arenado 2 for 3 on the day. He had a triple in the first. Came around to score on Trevor Story's home run. A double in the second. He would score on Trevor Story's double. I like that. You got to put someone on base, though, for Trevor to do the damage. So Nolan's going to try and do that here. That ball's in there for a strike. Fouls this off, and one lucky fan out of 35,408 in attendance will take home a Nolan Arenado souvenir.
Another nice crowd tonight. Last night there was 36,000 plus.
It's getting to be that time. School's starting to, end, slow down. Summer's here. Means you got to go check out the boys of summer.
A lot of college graduations going on. Congratulations to all the graduates. I get a job?
Yeah. You've said that before.
I've said that once or twice.
It sounds like a dad who had kids come out of college. That's what that sounds like.
And who are now in grad school.
Yeah.
Yes.
Smart kid. Keep the education rolling.
He's going to be a professional student.
Here's the 1 and 2 from Alec Asher to Nolan, and half swing at that to go down on strikes. Here comes Trevor Story, and Huey mentioned it. All the ribbies belong to Trevor. 2 home runs. He had a double as well in the 3rd inning. His 282nd career game tonight, by the way. 61 home runs. That's pretty impressive because only 27 other players in Major League history had more than the 61 home runs. But then look at this number, Huey.
Yeah, you're ahead of Vinny. Come on. I mean, that's pretty good in itself, but Andres is up there. Larry Walker, Ellis Burks.
You guys are talking about 4 RBI games on back-to-back nights. He's only the 14th Rocky to do it on back-to-back nights. The last being Nolan Arenado, September 26, 27, 2015. The only person to ever do it 3 times in a row, Dante Bichette, 1997.
Now you're starting to talk in the 25-year history of the Rockies. We've heard Chet's name. We've heard Galarraga's name. I'm just saying, it's a pretty good company to keep. Here's the 1-1 inside, and 2-1 for Trevor now.
Go through peaks and valleys as a hitter, but right now he's riding that great valley. That ball seems so large, or excuse me, the peak, not the valley, the peak, because the baseball seems so big when it's coming out of the hand.
I call it when you're in the matrix. I mean, you see things before they happen. It feels like you're able to pick up the pitch before it leaves the pitcher's hand. And I know how that sounds, but you've been there.
No, but that's a great description, the matrix, because everything's kind of
slow. Yeah.
Setting up outside for the 3-1. It's going to go down as strike 2. Full count for Trevor Story. RBIs is pretty good work for Story in 2 nights, but I mean, you want to add another one?
Sure.
Never hurts. Or just walk. That works too. Get on base is a good thing.
Well, Coors Field has something for everyone and every budget. Go to Rockies.com/suites for information on individual game day suites and party facilities.
Here's Ian Desmond, 0 for 3 on the night. Ian's been messing with his facial hair this year. Told him I had to do a double take the other day.
Clean shaven, Ian.
Maybe a fresh face has some hits in it, you know? We know how you guys act.
Act?
I don't even know what you're
That's
talking
right,
about.
act.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Mixing it up.
Here's the best part. Before the home run derby yesterday, I went into the clubhouse to get some bats from the guys. Charlie's walking by and he goes, "Oh, here, take one." He goes, "Oh, wait, never mind. My bats don't have any hits in them."
Oh, Charlie.
Yeah, guy wins a batting title.
Right, but he didn't get any hits the day before. You know the way guys are.
See? The way guys are. Pick up where I left off there. Thank you for reinforcing that. Don't question me, Houston.
I know. I'm just trying to protect myself.
Well, the irony is, guess who used Charlie Blackmon's bat in the home run derby?
Spilly?
Ryan
Farmas?
Spilborgs. Yep.
Well, he only had 1 home run, but
Yeah.
he
But it
did
was the
have
big
lots
one.
of hits,
Yeah.
right? He hit the money ball, hit the mitt shot from UC Health. Ian Desmond's still waiting for a pitch. And here it comes, in there for a strike.
Asher's pretty deliberate considering we saw start this game in Suter.
Thought it was Traxel for a minute. Good old Steve Traxel.
Oh my goodness, 45, 50 seconds in between pitches. Don't get the nickname the human rain delay for nothing. Keeping a watchful eye on Trevor, 7 for 7, stealing bags.
Desmond swings at the 0-1. It's going to be tracked by Lorenzo Kane.
Robbed him a couple times tonight.
So the Rockies, they strand 1 in the 7th and move on to the 8th.
look up to her. One of those people who looked up to her is Jenny Kavnar. Well, it all came full circle when Billie Jean King said to Jenny that she is an inspiration to her. Now, how cool is that? And it's a theme that we've seen throughout the weekend. We were talking about it yesterday with Bobby Abreu being an inspiration to Cargo, and then one day they were able to play together. Cargo and him met, and now Cargo is an inspiration to new Venezuelan baseball players coming up. So I think it's just so cool, you guys, how everything comes full circle, and baseball just provides a level of influence on so many different people. What do you think about that, Huey, Spilly, or Corey? Not Spilly.
Well, I just think it's an honor to be up here with Jenny right now, and just what you're doing is groundbreaking.
Well, I'm gonna cut you off, and I'm gonna say it's an honor to be up here with you guys. And I think, you know, hearing from Billie Jean King was, I mean, so humbling. I've heard from so many people that have been so humbling, but I think her hashtag, he for she, means a real difference. I mean, it wouldn't be without you guys, without Spilly, without Drew. You guys push me every day to do better things, and I think that's the important message, is just about representation, about pushing the limits. And you know, I've said it a lot in the interviews I've done the last couple weeks that I wanted to be a sideline reporter because that's all I saw that looked like me, as Braun's going to ground out to Trevor Story. That's what I saw. That was my representation. And so as we've gone on, Jessica Mendoza breaking barriers, being a color analyst in this game. You can go across several games. Becky Hammond interviewing for an NBA job this week. Colorado State Ram Pride. The list goes on and on. But I think, again, to hear from these people is so cool. But then to hear from the little girls, hear from parents, hear from Corey saying, you know, Riley's excited. That's cool.
Yeah.
Dougie just sent me a video of Elizabeth, his daughter, cheering me on tonight. I mean, that stuff gives me goosebumps. And it's a real honor to be up here. And it's just been really fun to hang out with you guys. And I'm glad that Drew can go coach his kids' team, too, because that's important. And they've won 2 baseball games today.
That's right. Now they're in the state playoffs.
The truth of the matter is, though, Jenny, you've earned it.
Yeah.
You deserve it.
Well, thank you. That means a lot. And I just think we have such a great group here. And, you know, from the people that work in the truck to you guys, it's fun to be in the seat, for sure. Drew better know how lucky he is.
I think he does. He understands.
I know he does.
You're very humble, but you're a hard worker, and we're glad you're here and we can be a part of this.
Thank you. Adam Ottavino, a hard worker, too. Got 1 out already. Now 0-2. And he's going to get Aguilar swinging on strikes. It's a 3rd strikeout for Aguilar today.
Otto had a strikeout last night, and now another one tonight. When you get that kind of swing on a slider that breaks about 2.5 feet, you know it's got some movement on it. 21st game of the year for Adam. ERA jumped up a little bit because of that home run he gave up the other day to Justin Upton. But 36 punch-outs in just 21 innings. Opponents hitting 091 against him.
Pitcher spot up. Tyler Saladino will be the pinch hitter for the Brewers.
And there are just no comfortable at-bats against Otto.
Shoot, I wouldn't want to do it, and I hit left-handed.
No, thank you.
Right. When you get to the opposite from what the arm side is, you just, whoa.
I said it the other day, it's where you look, you typically don't ever look over your shoulder, but when Otto comes into the game as a hitter, you do, hoping you're getting pinch hit.
You sure you want me to go
Yeah.
up? Sure?
Really?
Come on.
Come on.
There's somebody else, right?
Or you pull the, oh, my hammy, it's starting to tighten up. Right-handed hitters, 4 for 35 against Otto. That's a 114 batting average. Lefties, 2 for 31, 065.
0-2's high, so 1-2.
And you're talking about a speed coverage that you have to cover almost 25 miles an hour between the top end fastball and that slow slider.
And he gets him swinging. 3 quick outs for Adam Ottavino and the Rockies. Brewers remain scoreless. Rockies on top, 4-0. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Home runs. He also had a double, 4 ribbies on the day, and that's how the Rockies got to 4-0. His first multi-home run game of the season. 10 home runs now in total. Kyle Freeland doing work as well into the 7th inning, 6 in the 3rd innings. Allowed just 4 hits, not a run. He did walk 4, but 6 strikeouts for Kyle Freeland. And Trevor Story looking on. He's like, guys, I did a lot of work today. Let's go. Let's get the bats going. I can't be the only one with ribbies here.
Well, he's almost caught Javi Baez, who leads the National League in ribbies with 34. So he's getting real close.
32 on the day for Story, and Noel Cuevas is up. Matt Albers is going to be the pitcher for the Brewers.
Pitched Thursday against the Rockies, an inning and 2/3 scoreless, and a walk and a strikeout in that ball game. Fastball, slider. Fastball 92 on average. Slider about 85 on average.
Here's the 0-1. 1-1.
Out in the bullpen, you got Brooks Pounders and also Wade Davis.
Cuevas swings at the 1-1 and ball out to right field for out number 1. Fans who wants tacos, don't forget to follow at AT Sportsnet RM on Twitter. That's where you receive alerts for the Rockies Taco Special. It happens when Colorado scores 7 or more runs. Still plenty of an opportunity tonight for that. Gerardo Parra, the hitter, he's 13 for his last 30. That includes 4 hits last night, all singles. He swings the first pitch right to Aguilar, who moved over to first base. Chris Iannetta, the 3rd hitter of the inning for the Rocks. Albers efficient so far, just 4 pitches for the reliever. He had a career high of 63 appearances last year with Washington and a 1.62 ERA. outside, 1-0, and David Dahl's on deck now for the Rockies. Iannetta can reach base. Looks like Dahl will get a pinch hit appearance. Iannetta with a hard liner but foul.
Seeing Chris rope a couple balls to left field. Yeah, the one they hit right on the chalk paint line. Ow.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Ow,
fouls that one
all
off, jumping around a bit.
Doesn't matter how much of that shoot it caught. It's right off the top of the foot, in step of the foot. Nothing to protect you there.
Chris is fine. He's a catcher, okay?
That's true.
What's the first thing he does? Then he hits his cleat with his bat.
Might as well just pound your hand on your helmet too, you know?
Yes.
Two-two to Iannetta. Fouls another one off.
It's one of those things where when you do it, you almost expect a fastball in, because they know you're conscious of doing the exact same thing again, and you don't want it in there, so they think they can get away with one.
Chris still hopping around a little bit at home. Going back in with the fastball again. Oh no, he didn't.
He did.
Yes,
he did foul that right off. Yes, he did.
I'm not laughing at Chris. I'm
Chris will
laughing.
laugh.
No, but I'm laughing with him, because you and I both done this court.
Oh, I've done it at least 3 times in one
Oh.
bat. At least that caught the toe. It avoided the same exact spot.
Stop beating yourself up, Chris. Come on.
That's when you might even call for the guard in the dugout. Go ahead, give it to me.
Toe guard, shin guard, knee
yeah.
guard.
Throw him his catcher shin guard.
That's how I looked when I went rollerblading as a kid. Put all the guards on.
Stay safe.
That's right. Well, if Chris has regained the feeling in his foot, we can continue this at bat. Two and two, check swing and strikeout for Chris Iannetta. Out number 3 for the Rockies. We head to the ninth, 4-0. Corey Sullivan, myself, we're going to stick around and handle those duties. We're probably going to talk about the story of the night, sir.
And would that be one Trevor story? This is the third book in the story, is that correct?
Yeah, this is the third book in the story.
Yeah.
Or maybe the fourth, because, well, he had 4 ribbies tonight.
He did have 4 ribbies, and you know, that's back-to-back nights for Trevor Story having 4 RBIs. He's really starting to heat up in the month of May, and that's a good thing because the Rockies offense really does need that lineup lengthened out as it turns into May and hopefully carries on into June.
Wade Davis, the new pitcher for the Rockies, he's going to handle the top of the 9th, even though it's not a save situation.
I think this is a case for Wade to erase, kind of wash the taste out of last night's ball game and the way it ended. I know closers have a, a short memory. They have to have it. Wade's been in this situation. He's blown games before. But as he said in the post-game show last night, he said, I just made a bad pitch to Manny Pena. I wanted to go down and away. I left it up, and he hit it out. I mean, it did only go 371 feet, but it doesn't matter how. He got it up there and hit a home run to tie the ball game up.
The 1-0 to Perez. He'll see Perez, Arcia, and Bandy, the bottom of the order for the Milwaukee Brewers. One's in there for a strike, 1-1. Trying to frame that pitch up on the corner, but it's going to be a ball, 2-1. Two and two for Davis. Back up the middle, and Charlie's gonna have to play it on a hop. So a single, a leadoff single for Hernan Perez.
He was the guy that got everything started in the 9th inning last night. There's 2 outs, 2 strikes, and he hit that base hit to left to allow Pena to come to the plate.
Here's Orlando Arcia, 0 for 3 tonight. He did reach on an error in the 2nd. Last night, Arcia had 2 hits and 2 ribbies. Fouls that one off.
4 times off base last night. That tied a career high for him, reaching 4 times.
So Davis getting ahead 0-2. Chases that one, and strikeout number 1 for Wade Davis tonight.
Buried that last pitch, Corey. Just really got on top and got him to chase.
I think when he was facing Perez, it's one of those where fastball command until a guy gets on base, and he knows he's a closer who's had some experience where challenge a guy, let him put it in play, and then when you get a little bit of traffic, if you need to, you go to the secondary pitches, and right there, that was one of the better breaking balls we've seen from Wade Davis.
Well, Travis Shaw is going to be the pinch hitter, and he has tore up this series, 6 for 11 so far. He came in just 5 for 50. So when he wasn't in the lineup today, I know he was itching to get in. Had a feeling we might see him some point.
Well, this is the first time this year that he's come up as a pinch hitter.
Runners going, and Iannetta kicks that ball away. So Perez to second.
Assuming that's going to be defensive indifference. It's Ian Desmond was playing behind him.
It is in fact defensive indifference. Shaw last night 3 hits, that go-ahead RBI in the 10th. Watches his first strike go by, 1-1.
I still think that pitch last night from Jake McGee wasn't that bad of a pitch.
It was. I talked to Chris Iannetta before the game tonight and wanted to know where they wanted that. They wanted it buried in the dirt. So while, yeah, it wasn't that bad of a pitch, it was down. It wasn't down where they wanted it.
Mr. Ian Desmond. So Shaw grounds out. And the runner will move up to third.
We'll get the switch hitter and Jonathan VR, second time up tonight for VR. First time he hit right-handed off of Kyle, and he walked. Left side's a stronger side for the switch hitter.
First pitch in for a strike. Davis gets ahead 0-1. Brewers 0 for 10 tonight with runners in scoring position, and Davis is going to try and keep it that way with a runner on third and 2 outs. Fouls off the second pitch, 0-2. The music's pumping, the fans are on their feet.
They're ready to
win a ball game.
Yeah, explode and have the players shake hands.
Low in the dirt, 1-2.
Off the Subaru strike zone. We all wanted it, and the other 35,000 plus fans wanted it. Pretty close, but just did sneak around the black.
And they did a good job pulling that up, but went down for a ball, 2-2. Gets him swinging, and that's the ball game here at Coors Field. Davis finished things off in the 9th. In a non-save situation. Kyle Freeland, the winning pitcher, finding a victory here at Coors Field. It's the 5th shutout of the season for the Rockies. They win 4-0. Milwaukee, the 8th time being shut out this season. Plenty to talk about coming up on the Toyota postgame show. Mostly the story of Trevor. 2 home runs and a double, responsible for all 4 Rockies runs.